Hello, team. It's time for the Daily Detangler. And today I want to talk about one of my tangles, which is finding the time, and talk a little about demands, priorities, and choice, and share what some of the things that are going on as I'm responding back to the tedious work, which is amazing work, and I really like where the team is headed on the tedious work on the 3x3 matrix, and it's really cool to see all of the contribution there. And I hope Catalyst is getting what he needs. I don't know about you, but sometimes I feel like this guy, and between the Catalyst responses, the back and forth of our team, the notes from the meeting inputs, and then just other commitments I have, and life in general, I can sometimes get overwhelmed with the amount of information that is coming at me, especially when a lot of the information that comes to me is unexpected, which is part of our VUCA environment. And in the part number 5 of the tedious work, Catalyst put together this model, and he shared his thoughts on clarity being on the left and detangler being on the right. And when I look at all the information I'm receiving and the opportunities I have because of that information I'm receiving in 2B, 2B, how am I decoding, and what am I sending back? And to decode, how does that decoding help me understand and take action? And in yesterday's detangler, I talked about that's where I get tangled. So breaking that model down, I talked about this idea of the leaning into what we've already built with the strategy and tactics, the stratacution piece. And stratacution is about doing the right things and doing those things right. And sometimes we get tangled around blending these two to figure out what actions to take. And when I'm overwhelmed with asks and information, one of those tangles that rears its head is this: I'm not sure I can do that. For example, I'm not sure I can find the time to respond to all this back and forth. I'm not sure I can respond back with something valuable. I'm not sure I can stay disciplined around the ask, or I'm not sure I can get to the other things that I need to get to if I choose this. And when I think about this tangle, which is around my contribution and knowing what I need to do right now and in the moment, a lot of it comes down to how I prioritize my time, and thinking about how I use my time is a way in which I can get untangled. So what I do is I think about, what are my priorities? What's my goal? What's my personal goal, but also what's the goal of the team? And then what commitments have I made, and what accountability do I have? So if I plot out here the level of effort and the size of the business impact on 2 axes, and I take stock of all of the sticky pads coming at me, I can plot these out and figure out how to use my time a little bit more wisely. For example, if something has a low impact and a low level of effort, like reviewing emails, I can choose what to do with that. Like, for example, maybe batch that into a chunk of time. When I think about the idea of building content, maybe for LinkedIn or some other social media platform, or just building content in general, even for other clients, the size of the impact is lower than what we're trying to do with go to customer. the size of the impact is low, but the level of effort is high. So I can choose what to do with my time there. And the reason why I can put it there is because I have the opportunity to participate in this team, which is driving changes and go to customer. Now that one is a high level of effort, and a high impact. Now, obviously, I'm not going to compare my level of effort to anybody else's, but for me, the idea of change and go to customer is something that requires my time, and I need to put that time in. So when I think about supporting that change, if that's my primary goal and what I want to achieve, and also, what I feel accountable to, I have to prioritize that. So how much time am I spending on that per week? And then when I think about building C slides, how much time am I spending on that? And the size of the impact there is also high because it's supporting Catalyst. So that's a way in which I can think through my time. And a lot of my asks of me in my inbox or just from people outside of the team and outside of what we're doing here with the growth enablement and Polaris work, a lot of that is low impact, right? Especially because I have this opportunity and we have this opportunity to drive a code of customer change. So how do I prioritize my time? So one of the things I did yesterday was I just cleared my calendar to work on the go to customer stuff. Catalyst put out that he's having a meeting on Friday. So revisiting my prioritization matrix here, I had to make some choices. And that's the key about, to me, untangling myself and my contribution is, where do I choose to use my time? There's always going to be too much to do. How do I focus on the right things and make those trade-offs and be as productive as possible? And sometimes that means, aggravating other people outside of the team because they expect me to do things, or it means pushing them off, and maybe not even meeting with them because I want to focus on what I need to, which I consider my top priority. So my challenge is to be productive, not just busy, and that means prioritizing my time and my contribution to get untangled. So that relates to, leading with me and understanding how I'm processing information coming at me, how I'm decoding the world around me, and how I'm filtering through that in order to make prioritized use of my time. And time is a precious resource, as you know, and how I use it is critical to not only my own success, but to the success of the team. So that's how I worked through the volume of information and expectations and asks of me from a variety of different sources this week. And only time will tell if that pays off. Hope you enjoyed today's detangler, and walking through some of the tangles that I've had on contribution and prioritization. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. All right, take care.